There are 4 myths about building muscle and losing fat after 35, and almost every man over 35 has believed at least one of them. Some of these myths stop men from even trying. Others send them chasing a plan that was never going to work in the first place. And buried underneath all 4 is a real, honest answer that almost nobody actually gives straight. In this video, I'm breaking down each myth, showing you the actual mechanism the myth gets wrong, and finishing with the honest verdict, plus the plan to act on it. Here's what we're covering. Myth 1, that it's flat out impossible, you have to pick one goal. Myth 2, that it happens automatically if you just eat in a surplus. Myth 3, that after 35, low testosterone and anabolic resistance rule it out entirely. And myth 4, that it only works if you track every gram and eat like a bodybuilder. Once we've gone through all 4, I'll give you the honest verdict, the specific conditions that actually determine whether this works for you, and the practical plan to apply it. Before we get into the myths, one fact stays true through all of them. Your body can use stored fat as an energy source while using dietary protein to build muscle tissue at the same time. That's the real mechanism. Every myth either distorts it, oversimplifies it, or ignores the conditions it depends on. The mechanism is real. What's in dispute is when it actually applies to you. Myth 1. It's impossible, you have to pick one. This myth exists because on paper, the 2 goals look like opposites. Building muscle generally requires enough energy and raw material for your body to build new tissue. Losing fat requires burning more energy than you consume. One wants more available energy, one wants less. That looks like a contradiction. But that framing misses where the energy actually comes from. Your body doesn't only run on the food you eat that day. It can pull energy from stored body fat. If you're eating at a slight deficit or right around maintenance, with high enough protein and the right training stimulus, your body can use stored fat to cover its daily energy needs, while directing dietary protein toward building and repairing muscle. In practice, the scale might barely move while your body composition, the ratio of muscle to fat underneath the same weight, actually shifts. Smaller in fat, bigger in muscle, at the same time. Because how much muscle-building signal your body can respond to isn't fixed. It depends on how far your muscles are from their genetic ceiling. And that gap is large for some men and nearly closed for others. We'll come back to exactly why in myth 3, which brings us to the myth on the opposite end of the spectrum. Myth 2. Just eat in a surplus and it happens automatically. If myth 1 convinces some men it's impossible, myth 2 convinces others it's guaranteed. Neither is right. A calorie surplus does make more energy available for muscle building. But extra available energy doesn't automatically get directed to muscle. Without a strong enough training stimulus and adequate protein, a surplus is just as likely to be stored as fat. This is especially true for men who've already been training for years. The more muscle you already have relative to your genetic ceiling, the smaller the fraction of a surplus that can actually go toward building more. Most of it ends up as fat gain instead. For a newer lifter, or someone returning after time off, a surplus can support real muscle gain. But even then, only alongside consistent progressive training and enough protein. The surplus itself isn't the mechanism. It's a resource that still needs to be directed, so neither extreme is right. Which leads to the myth most men over 35 specifically believe. Myth 3. After 35, low testosterone rules it out entirely. This myth has real biology underneath it, which is exactly why it's so believable. After 35, anabolic resistance makes your muscle less responsive to the signals that trigger growth. And declining testosterone shifts your body's default bias slightly away from muscle retention. Both of those are real measurable changes, but real and disqualifying are not the same thing. 3 factors determine your odds, and age isn't one of them directly. Your training history, your current body fat level, and your actual day-to-day consistency with protein and training. A man returning to training after a break, or newer to structured lifting, has a large gap between his current muscle and his genetic ceiling, which allows fast growth even in a deficit, regardless of age. Higher body fat means more stored energy available to fuel training, freeing up protein for muscle repair. And real consistency, Hitting protein most days, training on a real schedule, is what makes the other two factors matter at all. Two men can both be 40 years old. One is a strong candidate for recomposition, the other isn't. The difference isn't their age, it's where they land on these three factors. One myth left, and it's the one that stops men who'd otherwise succeed from ever starting. Myth 4. It only works if you track everything and eat like a bodybuilder. This myth is the reason a lot of men never even try. It makes recomposition sound like it requires a bodybuilder's level of obsession. It doesn't. It requires exactly three things: a small deficit or maintenance calories, a protein target you hit most days, and progressive resistance training on a real schedule. None of those require tracking forever, weighing every meal, or eating the same 6 foods on repeat. They require knowing your rough numbers, hitting them most of the time, and training with intent. 4 myths down. Here's the honest answer underneath all of them. Yes, you can build muscle and lose fat at the same time after 35, but it depends on your training history, your current body fat, and your real consistency, not on picking the right supplement or eating a perfectly optimized diet. If 2 or 3 of those factors are working in your favor, this is genuinely achievable. Here's how to actually set it up. Step 1. Eat at a small deficit or right at maintenance, roughly 10 to 15% below maintenance, or at maintenance itself. A large deficit forces your body to prioritize survival over building new tissue. Step 2. Hit the protein target without exception. 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of body weight, daily. This is the one input that makes everything else possible. Without it, the other steps don't matter much. Step 3. Train with progressive resistance, spaced out properly, 48 to 72 hours between sessions on the same muscle group with weight, reps, or sets, increasing over time wherever possible. Step 4. Track photos and measurements, not just the scale. A progress photo and waist measurement every 2 weeks will show you what the scale alone hides. Muscle gained and fat lost roughly canceling out on the number. Step 5. Give it 8 to 12 weeks of real consistency before judging it. So let's go back to where we started. 4 myths: impossible, automatic, ruled out by age, and only for the obsessive. None of them were fully true. The real answer is that recomposition after 35 is genuinely possible for the men whose training history, body fat, and consistency line up in its favor. And the plan to make it happen is simpler than any of the myths made it sound. Slower than it would have been at 25, but real. And for most men who actually execute consistently, genuinely achievable. If this video helped you understand things a bit clearer, I appreciate you taking the time to watch it. What I focus on here is simple, realistic approaches that middle-aged men can actually stick to, because that's what gets real results. If that's something you're working on, you can stick around for more.